Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have this new infotainment system by Vaholim. If you have any type of vehicle, it could be any type. If it doesn't have factory CarPlay and Android Auto, we can add this. So first we're going to start off with the unboxing and then also how to set this up. So after we open up the box, here is the display itself. And then under here we have our different bracket mounts that like we can use. We also have this adhesive one to stick it directly on the dashboard itself. And then we also have a rear view camera. If your vehicle don't have this, we can plug this in. And then we also have a windshield mount. If you don't want to use this mount on your dashboard, we can just use this, goes over here, and then we can just use the suction cup to mount it directly on the windshield itself. And then here is our our power supply, which goes from our lighter port to USB Type-C. And then we as well as get extra adhesive pads as well. And as well as the tools to remove your old radio, and then also an extra our auxiliary input cable. And our owner's manual is right over here. So I will be using this plunger right over here to actually hook this up instead of the adhesive. So the way it works is really simple. We do have two different kind of like anchoring points here. I can have a little lower and then a little higher. All I have to do is just simply put this right over here. You can see the grooves in there. They're gonna go in like this. I'm gonna push it up forward towards me. And then you will hear a click, and now it's locked into place. And this can also be extended like this. Then I can tighten the side to stop that process. I can tighten this to stop making a swivel. Same thing goes for our anchoring point. And then simply I just remove this plastic film over here. Now it's actually kind of sticky too, so I can just do this. And once it's done, do this. Then it just sticks right in place. Guys, so starting off with the display itself, I have it mounted on the windshield like this. You can also have it mounted on the dashboard, and then if you have a curved dashboard like this, then we can just use the small bracket which I showed you earlier in the unboxing, which we can put it right over here with adhesive. Then this suction cup goes over that, so even if your dashboard is kind of like this, we can still adjust that beam to make it more or less be straight, tilted to the one side. So of course we do have to plug in it with a 12-volt lighter port that does come with here, and it does have an extra USB to charge something. I really do wish it was USB-C, then it could actually be useful to charge your phone or something, but we still do get an option. And then once we have everything mounted here, the display itself is really smooth. We basically really don't get that much of a lag. Super responsive. However, we do have a lot of reflection. I really do wish they did have some type of anti-reflection coating or something, but for daily driving it's pretty decent. And then of course we do have YouTube and Netflix, which I will go over in a bit. I will also be going over CarPlay. So how it works is, since we do have wireless CarPlay, we do have to connect your phone via Bluetooth. So you're gonna go to settings, and we're gonna go to Bluetooth. And once we're here in our Bluetooth section, I'm gonna scroll down. There you go, it's showing the Bluetooth for the display. We're gonna press on it. We're gonna press pair, allow. Now it will give me an option to use CarPlay. I'll press connect, use CarPlay, and now that's it. And now as you can see, it's saying CarPlay is found. There you go, it turns on. CarPlay is wireless CarPlay. It does have a little bit of lag once you're scrolling, as you can see, but overall it's still pretty decent, and everything works nice. And the display size is also really good. This is the 10-inch, and then in here the factory is 8.4-inch, so we do get a little bit bigger display than the factory option. They also have a 12-inch option as well if you do want a little bigger display. So this is CarPlay, and I'm gonna also be doing the test on the CarPlay is to actually like how long it takes to reconnect automatically. So we're gonna do is turn off the vehicle. I'm gonna open the door so it turns off. There you go, it turns off. I'm gonna restart the vehicle. My phone is right over here. There you go. It just simply turns on within a second. This is actually like way faster than like in a factory CarPlay system. And just to be sure, one more time, my phone's right over here. Turn the vehicle off. Open the door. It has no power. Close the door. Start the vehicle back up. There you go, CarPlay. Like, this is one of the fastest wireless CarPlays I've ever seen in any type of vehicle. For that, this is really good. And then also the other thing is, if you're wondering, wait, how do we use CarPlay audio with your factory speaker? Okay, so as you can see, we do have 4 options for our audio. We also have the local speaker option. Then it will just like use the speakers from the back of the display itself, which to be honest, it's not that great. And then we have the Bluetooth transmitter, the thing which I'm doing currently right now. It works really good. Then we have the FM module. And then how we do that is actually really good. And I think it's one of the best ones, especially if you have older vehicles. Then of course we have the auxiliary one. If you can just plug in your auxiliary cable and then plug one into your factory system. So currently I have it in Bluetooth transmitter. As you can see, it is connected with the Reconnect system of the Stone charger. So now I'm gonna play some music, and now it should play through the factory speakers. So okay, so I have the music playing right now. Now I can use my factory control here to completely turn the music off and turn it back on. As you can see, it's really easy. However, there is a little bit amount of lag, and then I think that is expected because first we're transmitting from our phone to the display, then again to Bluetooth and all that stuff. But once you get it start playing, then it's really good. So now we can also be trying the local speakers, like just to show you how good it is. Okay, so now it's playing from the local speakers, and if I'm right, this is at max. So let me put it to maximum volume. That's the maximum volume right now, and this is like the best you can hear. Of course, if you have an older vehicle, that's still perfect, but once you start driving, I think like that really doesn't work out. So yeah. And then we also have the FM, and then how that works is kind of really ingenious. We come over here, we can actually choose our like FM frequency that we want to. Let's say 100.6. Then I can come over here, go to radio, and make sure it's an FM. And now I can literally type in the same one that is going on our top display. So 0.6. Okay. So now we did set our same frequency right over here, and then our same frequency is set right over here on the top. There you go. So as I'm playing the music, now I can still use my factory dial here to still adjust everything. And the good thing is we basically have 0 lag with this one, since we're not relying on Bluetooth connection to transmit and everything. So I think the best one is actually via FM audio transfer. I think that's the best one if you do want to do that. And there's a few things we like really can't use, especially let's say you're having a phone call with CarPlay. I really can't press this to answer the phone call since this really isn't connected to the display itself. So, and then of course here we have all of our vehicle settings here, my Wi-Fi, sound settings, reverse settings, of course, for our rear view camera, but unfortunately I really can't show you since my vehicle already has rear view camera, but I'm just gonna go over how it works. So we're gonna plug this right into the display itself in the back, and then I'm gonna give power. The best way to get power is to like get the power from your like reverse lighting from the back of your trunk, mount the camera in the back, and then I can simply just press the camera tab right over here, and it should just bring up the camera. So of course I do have an app store. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have a YouTube running right now over here, and then I can still use my factory my factory audio, and it works perfectly. Virtually zero lag. Once again, guys, if you're doing this, please do pay attention on the road. Don't be watching Netflix or shows on here while driving. It's not safe, but I just wanted to show the feature how it works. Works really good, but however, you do have to use your phone's hotspot since we basically don't have any type of way to insert a SIM card. I wish there was a way to probably install eSIM or something like how we do on different brands, but like the one I have right now, this one doesn't have that option, so you do have to use your hotspot. Elegantly integrates the antenna. And then, so is it actually worth 150 bucks or not? So personally, I would say if your vehicle is like really old, like I would say like 2010 or even older, and you really want CarPlay, you really want something, you want an audio system which is easy to use, plug and play, you really don't have any experience, then this is the best option for you. Simply put it on your dash, have a single connection going in, and then I still have control over my factory audio. I have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, built-in YouTube, built-in Netflix. I can also download different apps. And if you guys are interested in behind this, please do go check my link down below. And please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.